You're listening to a Songwriters Right Radio, only on LA Talk Radio.
Just love, lyrics, and life. It's a Songwriters Right.
Yes, it is. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on, Hollywood? I'm your boy, Scotty Grand.
My name is Leo Moctezuma.
I am Crissy J.
My name is Guy.
And you are listening to
A Songwriters Right.
Well, it's been about love. It's been about lyrics. It's been about life.
Amen.
What's
Lots
going on, family? How y'all
We are
doing?
back.
We are back, bitch. We are back. And not only are we back, but we're back with the hottest topics, the hottest stars, the hottest songwriters, and some of the hottest, sexiest people in LA, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if you guys can hear this new female voice that we have on the show, this panel right now, but please give it up for the beautiful and most regal of LA, Miss Crissy J.
I'm so happy to be here with you.
We're ecstatic.
And you.
Ecstatic to have you. What's going on, Crissy J?
Oh man, there's so much going on, I think, with a lot of us, and I'm just so happy to be here with this season and talk about it. Okay. And a lot of stuff. The world is going crazy, and we need to all talk about it, you know? So I have a voice, you have a voice, you have a voice, you have a voice.
We all got voices. Yes, for voices. So you guys, I'm so happy to how you feeling back?
Glad
Leo?
you're back.
Thank you. I'm feeling amazing. I'm so happy to be back. Yeah,
And we got a lot to talk about.
You
Don't
I
even
was
let us
away
talk
for a
about
couple
it
weeks.
until this show, by the way.
We're going to get into it later. What about you, Guy? What about you?
Man, things right now are amazing.
Amen.
Very, very, very good.
Yes.
Love it. Well,
We'll get into a lot of it.
Yeah.
We're going to get all into it, you guys. We want you guys to call in and be a part of this conversation because this week, tonight, we are talking about, is there beauty in the crisis? Is there ever beauty in a crisis? You guys call us, 818
570-5085.
He's always ready.
570-5085.
You already know.
Why have I been watching Big Frida? Oh my goodness, you already know.
I don't know what that is, but it's fine.
Y'all, we'll
No
get into it
idea.
later. So you guys, is there beauty ever in the crisis? Have you guys ever had any kind of crises in your lives?
I think there's always beauty in crisis.
Always.
Yeah,
Explain.
always. I think that when you go through the most difficult times in your life is when I dig into something so deep that you discover new things about yourself and other people. And then same thing happens with other people. So even in these crises that are happening, you're finding so many people coming together and helping. And that is beautiful.
Amen.
It really, really is.
Amen.
It really is.
That's
And also
beautiful.
people, when you're in a crisis, people show up. The people that you didn't think were going to show up, or the
True.
people that you thought were, you know what I mean? That's when the beautiful people arise. So yes.
Right.
Definitely.
Separating the real from the fake.
Literally. And I mean, real.
And real is beauty.
Everything.
Real is very beautiful,
Raw.
as raw as it can be. It's always beautiful. So, Crissy, what's the last crisis that you've had as a female? I know y'all literally have crises every 20 minutes, I feel like. My nail, my shoe, my period, everything's a crisis. What's been going on?
Well,
Exactly. Exactly.
I wouldn't say it's a crisis mainly, but I don't know. The last crisis I wanted to talk about. Are we doing our topics and all that stuff?
Yeah, we can talk about everything.
I mean, when I talk about a crisis, you know, I'm into the feeling of things, the ambiance of how things make you feel, you know. So I wanted to talk about the crisis, like the first time all of us have had a crisis. How did that make you feel? Like, what was that ambiance?
We'll get to it.
You
We'll get
know?
to it. But
Yeah.
what was the last one you had?
The last one, I haven't really had a crisis in a long time. It's just been stressed.
Do you
and
feel
I
like
don't
you've
feel
ever
the
had one?
crisis is- You know what? Let me rephrase. My family's been in crisis
Love it.
in the Caribbean, and so has his family, and that's what we were talking about earlier. So I want you to talk on that more so, because I wasn't in the thick of it. My father was in the thick of it, and it was a crisis. My grandmother's in a crisis right now. Like,
Wow.
it's not good.
Speaking of,
Because you're from the Caribbean.
Yes.
And that's where Was it Irma?
Who came through?
Maria, Irma, Jose, Steve Harvey.
Freaking
It was a
everyone
party.
came through. Yeah, and just like you said, when everybody comes together, that's when you find the beauty within the crisis. And right now, everybody just needs to come together as one, because nature does not care about beauty or not. She wants everything to be great. So get together if there's a crisis, and we fix and move on and build.
Got it.
You know?
Guy, what about you? What's been going? I know you very personally, so don't you effing dare say that you don't have a crisis. Guy literally has a business crisis / professional crisis every 18.5 minutes.
No,
and we
what
all
Guy
love it.
has is a huge vision that is
You're
not
ambitious
the
as hell.
easiest
Yes.
to manifest.
Right.
Otherwise, my life would be pretty simple and easy. And
Right.
But
Don't we all?
yes, yeah, but crisis. I mean, I think for me, it's been more of like the lessons that what I thought were crisis and what I thought was like this big crazy deal, even if it was, money and all those things that you want to hold on to as truth and as right. That they're really not a crisis. It's really not that deep. It's really what? There's
It's
always
really
another
always-
day. There's
yeah.
always another way. There's you know what I mean? Like I
Totally.
think we
Right.
take our losses or things that we perceive as losses as such a big deal. When what I'm learning is that, and this is only in my life, that the more I choose peace over like being angry or peace over being right, that it really actually dissolves from being a crisis to being something that you then.
I love it. I feel like with me, my crises, I just invite them. I kind of make them happen a little
You
bit.
make your crisis.
Yeah, you do make crisis.
But it's the same thing. It's like you have the vision.
Yeah, and also I work well in the pain. I work well as an artist, as a true songwriter. I work well with crying. I work well with deep emotions. I work well with like being a mess. I work well with these things because my songs get to be interesting. My songs and my stories get to be like, really, boy, you fell off of a bridge and broke all 32 of your teeth. Like, girl, I did that. Yep, I'm gonna write a song about it.
Crisis.
Here it goes.
Here you go, pow. Do it again. But I just feel like for me, in the wallow is where I find strength. When my back is against the wall, it makes me want to be the most strongest. So I kind of beckon my crises to come to me, which is weird, right, Leo? What do you think?
I get it.
You kind of literally call me out on it every time, so you really don't
Yeah.
get it. But
Leo's the caller outer of
the whole
life.
because that's all right. That's right. Call out everybody. Damn.
No,
Leo.
but I
But
mean,
he is that friend that will let you know.
He will.
well, but like you said, I mean, in crises,
Come on, Cardi.
beautiful things come out. Like beautiful songs, beautiful, like we said, people getting together, and I don't know. It's just one of those things that happens, and sometimes it has to happen, and sometimes it shouldn't, but it did. And so how are we gonna make it better?
I have a question for you, Scotty.
Yes.
With you saying you beckon the crisis, what if you didn't beckon the crisis? Would you still feel like you're fulfilling life if you didn't have a crisis in it?
I literally wouldn't even know who Scotty Grant is.
Him and I always have that conversation because he feels like he needs to create out of pain when you could also create out of love.
Do you guys create out of pain? Do you want to live in the crisis?
818-570-5085. You guys call us, get in on this conversation. We want to know.
We want to hear from you.
I literally think for me, Crissy, that it's something that I do subliminally. Because I have this first line of the song called Under the Surface. And the first line is, under the surface, there's a pain that I can always sing from. And that's true. Under the surface, as much as I smile and there's so much pain in my life that it really has balanced me out for my art. And I do it in my head. So in my cognizant life, I try and not do that. But in my sleeping life, what it really is going to wind up being is going to be a hot mess. And I'm going to be in the middle of it, and I'm going to be like, ooh, I love it. I don't know why I love it. I love
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the craziness of a songwriter's right.
Crazy. He calls me crazy all the time, guys.
Because you show
You are.
people. I do it at home.
Yeah, because I don't hide. Listen, I am not. This is what you're going to get in the show. I'm not with the fake Can we curse
you can
on
say
here?
shit.
Absolutely, you can say
It's
LA
a
Talk Radio.
songwriter's
You
right to
say
say
what you want.
But I think that's what it is. Like artists are not normal. Like they're
Absolutely.
very
Right.
insane in one way or
Wait, my
another.
mom must be listening.
Okay,
Your mom
your
don't know you
daughter's
curse? Hi,
insane.
Mama.
She's
I
an
literally
artist.
just had a conversation with her. That's my crisis,
Oh,
guys.
we got it.
Okay. Okay, it's a crisis, I guess. Yeah. Since I can remember, I've had a potty mouth. I will say this. However, I know how to control it around my elders and my
Specifically your mother.
clients, and specifically my mom. Yes. Okay. I couldn't control it the other day, literally like 2 days ago, and she was so shocked. This isn't my daughter. This isn't how I raised you. And I was like, oh my God, this is a crisis because I don't want my mom thinking like I'm crazy, you know? But she like, that's
I'm going
me,
to,
you know?
Yes.
Okay.
I want to talk about a crisis.
Yeah.
Because
guy.
Leo, I'm tired of waiting. I've actually been waiting for days to hear from
Yeah.
Leo's mouth about the real crisis. About what
Oh
happened.
my
because
goodness. So are y'all literally telling me right now it's time to?
please,
This
because
is Talk About It with Leo Moctezuma.
Come on, Leo. Just hit
Hey,
us with
talk
it. Just
about
hit
it.
us
Let's
with
just
it.
talk
We
Before
want
we
to
talk
know.
about it, just to cheers because
I,
we're
I
all
knew you was
alive.
bringing alcohol, baby. Season 4, Leo's gonna get us drunk.
you
Yeah.
know,
I
you
love
already
it.
know.
You literally gonna have me saying that in my dreams.
I wish I would have brought like some kind of Puerto Rican alcohol, like a pitorro
or some paper towels.
or some paper towels. But I left them in Puerto Rico. But I brought some sake for us.
Oh,
It's
Sakin.
Was there Asians caught down there too?
It's been
We like it.
yeah, I got the little sake cups and everything.
baby.
I had this sake in my fridge and I've been dying to drink it. And I was
Oh,
like,
Amen.
you got a good pour there, Leo.
Yeah.
Can y'all see Leo pouring this amazing sake?
I'm about to sake it to ya.
Suck it to it.
Oh, I take the
Suck it
overfilling
to
one.
it.
Nice. So start telling us what's
Yes.
going on.
Well, let's
well,
just take
first
this
we're
shot
gonna
first.
toast, right?
Oh,
Can
oh,
we
yes.
toast?
Shall
Will
we?
toast?
Okay.
To the beauty of being alive in this crisis.
Ooh, salud.
Cheers. And cheers to you viewers.
you
Cheers
guys,
to you
viewers.
guys for
Season
tuning
4.
in. Amen.
Okay,
You're supposed to sip on it.
Are you serious?
not today.
Oh, okay. I
So,
didn't know.
my talk about a segment is
much
gonna
I
be
don't
more
do.
like
This is my family.
story time.
Yes.
The last couple months have been crazy for me. My mom has been sick, and my mom was sick, and the end of August, she actually, my mom passed on September 1st, and it was difficult. It's been really, really difficult. But it was something. She was sick, and it was something that I already prepared myself, like literally from the beginning of the year when she had a little episode. But when that passing happened, she was in Virginia with my amazing sister Shirley that was taking care of her, and my dad was over there as well in Alexandria, and so she passed in Virginia, and then we want to ship her to Puerto Rico, so that's where the funeral was going to be and all that stuff. And Irma happened, so that delayed Hurricane Irma happened, and that delayed the traveling of my mom going to. So I was already, I felt like I was playing double dutch because I was like, am I leaving? Am I not leaving? Am I leaving? Am I not leaving? You know what I mean? Am I going to Virginia? No, not really, because then we're going to go to Puerto Rico, and do I have to work? And so the whole month of September, I didn't work because I was like on this double dutch, kind of like trying to see where I'm going and whatnot. All that to say is that finally, after Irma cleared up, my mom was being shipped to Puerto Rico on September 16th. I happened to be on a cruise, so as soon as I got off, I was planning to go to be there for the funeral. On September 19th, which was my birthday, I literally got off the cruise, jumped on a flight to Puerto Rico, got there Tuesday morning, September 19th, on my birthday. Went to my mom's funeral, buried my mom, and mind you, at the right before we buried her, like there were like storm warnings.
Yeah.
So that was freaking us out because we're like, we're about, so we're in the car taking her to the burial, and literally the sun clears up.
Wow.
It was like pouring rain. The sun clears up. So literally God, the universe, or whoever your higher power is,
That just got
opened
chill.
those clouds just for us to bury her.
Wow.
Got home. It was, and my mom looked so beautiful in the coffin. She just looked. It was beauty in that crisis. Like I'm so glad that how they made her look and my last memory of her. But 5 hours later, celebrating my birthday, we just a little birthday cake, and I was exhausted because I had a 4 o'clock in the a.m. Flight. I went to bed to wake up to sounds of winds.
You were gonna fly back at 8
No. I flew into Puerto Rico that morning, so I was exhausted. So we cut a cake for me, and then I lay down. I was like, I need to take a nap, which turned into like a 3-hour nap, and then like around midnight, the winds started blowing and blowing and blowing, and I thought I'd never been through a hurricane, so I was just thinking, you know what? I'm just gonna sleep through this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I'm gonna put the pillows over my ears and sleep through this. And that's what I started doing. But Lord, like, it was like I felt like it was knocking on that window, and finally one of the curtain rods fell on top of me, and I jumped up and I ran into the living room where I found my family. Like, we're all gathered in the living room.
Wow.
And it was absolutely insane. But it was so surreal for me. It didn't feel real. It really didn't feel real. I thought I had a pair of virtual reality glasses, and I'm in this scene that was created by some virtual reality person. And I'm looking out the windows, and it's like white from the winds going that fast. And it's howling, and it felt like a movie, and it felt like there were ghosts trying to get in the house. Just the sound of the howling and the wow. And then you hear we had a umbrella awning around the house, and you hear it banging. Like it was like someone trying to bang, and then ripping it off, and banging, and ripping it off. And like I've never been so quiet in my life. Like I just sat there on the couch like, this is fucking happening. Like
wow.
What?
How long did that last for?
The hurricane lasted literally, it was like hours. Hours. And thank the Lord, thank my father built this amazing cement house.
Absolutely.
Because we were scared too, because my sister was freaking out. She was like, Dad, hurricane saved the house. You didn't block up the windows. He was like, it's fine. But we didn't know, So, all this to say, I had a couple beers during that hurricane.
You should have.
Yeah. And then we put the mattresses in the hallway, and it just got louder and louder and louder, and until we kind of fell asleep. And thank the Lord that, nothing happened really. Like, it didn't get into the house. We just lost that big awning around the house. And it was crazy, guys. It was really, really crazy. I really, wouldn't want to do that again. And it wasn't even that bad for me specifically.
Right.
Now, Leo, how devastated is your country right now?
Puerto Rico is in pain. Puerto Rico, like what you see on the TVs, and it's weird too, because like I got out of the house and it was horrible. Like our house is standing there, but like 2 houses down, there's no roof, there's no windows. It's just crazy. And I sat there being thankful. It's such a weird and bittersweet feeling, because I'm looking at my house and my family and we're okay, but knowing that just around the block, 3 houses down, it's just in shambles. Trees blocking roads, like telephone poles. I mean, no water, no power for days and days and days.
Wow.
Having to go up to the mountain, get some water, bring it down so we have water for the toilets to cook and for the showers, like buckets. Just I don't think I've ever took a shower, like just like a bird bath with the
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
So you definitely.
So what's the best way to help? Like how or
Good one,
where
yeah.
is a good place to contribute?
Well, one of the help that came to actually my town in Yabucoa, Puerto Rico, was SCORE, the Filipino Association. Let me say it correctly. But we will tweet this information, as well as I already put it on our Facebook page, Songwriters Radio. But this organization, SCORE, was at in our town specifically, and one of my cousins and uncles were the leaders of bringing it. They were like translators and helped out, and they brought this company from Toledo down, and they helped emergencies over 1,000 people in our town. So that's definitely one of the associations that I would like to help, but there's so many others that the ones that I really are doing something. Ricky Martin is killing the game.
That one.
God bless him. It's a friend of mine, and I love him so much, and he's just doing it right. I mean, he's from Puerto Rico, so of course,
I didn't know that. I didn't know
Yeah.
But his foundation as well. We will be posting it on Twitter, but SCORE is. Oh my God, moment of silence.
We want to know.
No, this is important stuff.
No.
This is like,
Let's get it, though.
when you want to really contribute and help, you just, some people feel like not knowing where
to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. And I'm sorry, my nerves are kind of like reliving stuff right now. But scorefat.com/make-a-donation.html. That would be.
We can tweet the link.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna tweet the link. And also another leader, Mr. Lin-Manuel, is killing the game with making so much money to give back to Puerto Rico. And actually, we're gonna feature one of the songs that he just made with various artists.
Nice.
I think we should kind of actually
Play it?
yeah, we'll play that in a
We're
minute.
definitely gonna play it. I'm finding it right now.
Okay.
But like artists like Mark Anthony, Ruben Blades, Camila Cabello, Pedro Capó, Dessa, Gloria Stefan, Fat Joe, Luis Fonsi, Juan Luis Guerra, Alex Lacamore, John Leguizamo, Jennifer Lopez, Rita Moreno, Ednita Nazario, Joel Ortiz, Anthony Ramos, Gina Rodriguez, who I just went to support on Ellen yesterday. Actually, it aired today, but yesterday I went to go support her, and she danced to the song that we're about to play with Lyric Cruz, the choreographer. Gilbert Santana, Rosa, PJ Sinzuela, Tommy Torres, and Ana Vallanfañe. I mean, here you go. Just listen up.
It's almost like praying. It's almost like praying. It's almost like praying. It's almost like
Cabo Rojo, Corozal, Naguabo, Guaynabo, San Lorenzo y San Germán, San Sebastián y mi viejo San Juan, Isabela, Maricao, Fajardo, Dorado, Hormiguero, Sumacao, Trujillo, Atillo. Vega, Baja, Toa Alta, Toa Baja, Mayagüez, otra vez, Aguadilla, Quebradilla, Guayanilla, Juanadilla, y Calle.
it's almost like praying. It's almost like praying. It's almost like
Arecibo, Guanica, Culebra, Las Piedras.
Orocovis, Guayama, Gurabo, Maunabo, Aguas Buenas, Salinas, Río Grande, Sabana Grande, Yabucoa, Florida,
Peñuela, Santa Isabel.
Naranjito, Barranquita, Carolina, ay bonito Bayamón, Rincón, Barceloneta, La María, Rumerío, Moca, Ponce, Manatí, así.
it's almost like praying.
Utuado, Aguada, Las Juntas y Caguas, Canóvanas, Cataño, Junco, Las Ayuyas,
Villalba, Arroyo, te amo.
La Cueva de Camuy, Los Baños de Coamo,
Trujillo Alto, Ceiba, Ciales, la isla de Vieques, el Grito de Lares.
Yauco,
Sidra,
Añasco,
Patillas,
Morovis, Loíza, lo hiciste. Puerto Rico,
Hey, Puerto Rico. Hey, that was bomb.
Yeah, it was amazing. The track is amazing,
I
and
love that
basically,
song.
it's a simple song. He basically named all the different towns and barrios in Puerto Rico.
Oh, that's what that was, because we
Yeah.
didn't know nada que dice.
Exactly. But so thank you, Lin-Manuel, for that. It definitely, and the proceeds are all going to Puerto Rico if you buy that on iTunes. And it's at the Hispanic Federation. We're gonna be tweeting that, and it's also I already put it on the Facebook page.
Yay.
And if
Beyonce
you don't
did
know,
a
our
song
Twitter
too,
is
right?
ASWRLA, and you can also follow all of us.
Yes, you can follow me at Scotty Grand, Scotty with the Y, Grand like piano.
Me at Leo Moctezuma.
Me at Crissy Joyce, no H.
Guy blessed. At Guy Blessed.
You are blessed.
I love it. I think we should take a little break, guys. Should we not?
Yeah.
And we'll be right back.
Just love, lyrics, and life. It's a songwriter's right. You feel better than any other. You bring heaven to me with just your touch. And I can love you better. And I'ma love you better. And I'ma love you better than before. So don't know much about right. Don't know much about wrong. All I know is we're where we belong. Don't know much about right. Don't know much about wrong. All I know is we're where we belong. 'Cause I've been waiting for my world to shine. And now I think I see it every time you smile. Don't know much about right. Don't know much about wrong. All I know is we're where we belong. I need you here, here under my skin. So touch, move me near. Take this wheel, both hands and steer. 'Cause I can love you better.
Yes. Sing it, guys.
know the song.
I love
You
that.
inspire
I
me.
love that. Love that.
But just to
Inspire.
close out, you know, all the hurricane experience, with that crisis, the beauty in that is just to see all my people in Puerto Rico come together as one and help each other out. Me and my family, we walked around the town and helped people cut trees and clean their water out of houses, and so and that's what the beauty in this crisis was, and it will continue to be, because please continue to donate for Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico is going to be like this for months,
If not years.
for months,
New Orleans
maybe
took-
even a year. It's no joke.
New Orleans took 6-7 years to get back, and donations stopped around month 6. So if you guys could keep just donating, those people, you guys are going to need it for a long time.
Yeah.
Same with the other islands too.
Absolutely, because you're from Haiti, right? You have Haitian blood.
Why do you keep saying that?
I don't know. I'm just trying to segue.
No, I'm not from Haiti. No offense to anybody
Segue
that's
with
Haitian.
lies.
I love my Haitians. I'm from Miami. We're all this Caribbean oriented down there.
So it's Jamaican, not Haitian?
Right.
Oh, where
but
I would
it's
get
not
stoned.
just. My family is Jamaican, Chinese, Antiguan, so it's a little bit different.
You just
know?
got it all.
She's a little different.
I'm a little
for
different.
Sure.
But like I was saying, my father was in St. Croix, and we're right around the corner from Puerto Rico, and it's the same thing, like curfew. Were you guys were on curfew?
Oh
too.
yes, we were on curfew at 7 p.m. as soon as it got dark, basically.
We were 12 to 4.
Got
Yeah.
it. So let's keep this moving,
So,
guys.
yeah,
Let's do it.
definitely.
We're talking about, is there beauty in the crisis, you guys?
crises.
You guys call 818-570-5085. We want to hear from you guys, and I think it's time that we get a little bit of... Oh, it's time for a
Mr.
little
Nunu.
new. Now, you guys, actually, let's kind of reintroduce the show just a little bit. If you guys are just now turning in, this is the Songwriters Right. This is a show that we have on LA Talk Radio every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on the video channel. You guys can tune in, and we talk everything that there is to know about songwriting, creators, art, visual stuff, making your dreams come to life, and just being a creative spirit in general. So if you guys have some questions or you guys want to get into some of these cool topics that we'll be talking about, we're here, right?
We're also going to be on iTunes, right?
Yes.
Songwriters, right?
We have a podcast that we
Definitely.
upload on iTunes, Songwriters Right by the same name. And so we like to go through, and we have different segments that each of us will have. And so right now we're going to do a segment called the New, right? And this is where we feature new music.
Yeah, it's my
It's all
favorite.
New
about
music, you know,
I
this is
love
what we
new
are,
New
you know.
music.
And literally, a Songwriter's Right, guys, if you don't know, it was my baby, kind of. I was on the treadmill, my fat ass was running on the treadmill. And I was like, what should I do next? And I was like, a songwriter's... And I kind of eventually came up with the idea of doing a Songwriter's Right, where in the sense of it means whatever you want to be as a creator, as weird or as unorthodox as it is, you be it, because that's your right as a creator to push those boundaries and go past the lines that people draw for you in the sand. So that's what a Songwriter's Right represents. And so right now I'm actually going to feature one song from my new project that's coming out called The Recipe. I moved
you're
into
the
this.
new.
This is the new.
The
And this is a new sound for me, guys. You guys are going to love it. It's a little reggae vibe, you know.
You tryna come
For the
on?
Caribbean. He about to say Haitian again.
All the Haitian, Jamaican, Chinese, American, Canadian.
We're all the same. Once you hit that Caribbean, we're all one. Okay?
You know, Afghanistan, man, all that.
One love, one love.
But this is a song that I think is really special. It's called Change Everything. And just a little backstory. I moved, and you guys know, I was staying in Marina Del Rey for like 7 years. And as of March of this year, I moved to a new place, and I just literally changed everything. I literally didn't talk to these guys for like 6 months.
Yeah, he didn't.
I didn't talk to nobody.
I thought he was
literally did. But it's all good. I had to go inside myself, as a Cancer I am, and change everything. I changed my number. I changed my residence. Now I live off of Grand Ave. I don't know how that happened, but I changed everything. And this is what happened when I changed it.
Why the long face? Don't you hear music around? Don't you know music is God? So don't you go running away from all of your dreams. Don't you know you're what they need? So please, in this part of life where shit gets too much and you don't wanna give a fuck, you're in the part of the song where the club's going up, but it's just you over in the corner. No, if you don't have what you need, have what you need. Change everything. If you don't like who you see, change everything. We ain't stuck to one scene. Just drive away. There's so much else to be. Change everything. Change everything. Change everything. So why the long body? Don't you see we getting down? I know you wanna do it too. So why don't I follow you? Let me see what your mama gave you. Shake it round. Don't give a care who's looking now. Let's rock. In this part of life, shit gets too much. If I were you, I wouldn't give a fuck. When the music's done in my nose, don't got nowhere to go but the flow. If you don't have what you need, change everything. If you don't like who you see, change everything. We ain't stuck to one scene. Just drive away. There's so much else to be. Change every, change every, change every, change everything. Change
Change it. Ooh, change everything.
Can I say something?
Yes, please say it.
Change Everything came at such a perfect time, I think, for you.
Absolutely.
For a lot of us.
Absolutely. I think
we
the world.
hit a new decade.
Absolutely.
We need to change
every single thing that has been.
everything.
Every single thing.
Everything.
I love that you said that because that's exactly what the inspiration told me to write. It's like, why the long face? Don't you see? Oh,
You don't know your own
I don't
lyrics?
even know the lyrics. Like what?
It's the sake.
It's a song.
It literally is the song. It's right to be drunk on your own show.
Drunk
Leo,
on
why
the
you gotta be
mic.
so drunk? But it's literally like, don't you see that your dreams need you? Don't you see that there's music around? Why the long face? Don't you know that music is God?
God, I love that line.
In this part of life, when shit gets too much and you don't want to give a fuck, you're in the part of the song where the club's going up, but it's just you over in the corner. No. If you don't have what you need, change everything. If you don't like who you see,
Change everything.
We are not stuck to one scene. Just drive away. There's so much more to be. Change
everything.
You know what I tweeted the other day? You can't change people, but you can't change the people around you, but you can change the people around you.
Hey.
I like that. That's a song that's
I had liked that on Instagram.
I had liked it to that. I
You
like it to
know?
that.
Right?
I like it to that. And
Change
I
everything.
also want to shout out my boy Costa Gallinopoulos. I had to say his name right, Gallinopoulos. Costa. He's my roommate, and when I moved in March, I moved into a house with my manager. Shout out Adam Carney out there. Costa Gallinopoulos, and we have a whole house where it's just a production house. We're working on my album. We're working on the radio show. We're working on so many things, and it's so productive. So I had to shout these guys out because they really helped me write some cool stuff. So that EP's coming out soon. That EP's coming out soon
Scotty.
for sure.
Good job.
Thank you, dog. So I think y'all we should get this going on with a little love that lyric.
What?
Guy, are you ready?
Am I ready?
I think we should. Let's go.
I want to know why you picked this lyric.
Love that lyric.
Because you know.
Because I think she was in a crisis when she wrote it. 'Cause the way she was screaming on this song hit it.
Wait, and you know what's so crazy? I actually was speaking about her 2 or 3 times this
Because
week.
she's kind of everything.
Ooh, 2 or 3 times.
Her
this
is.
week.
Do you want to introduce it?
It's your segment.
I mean, yes, it's Kelis, and it's "Caught Out There" is the song, and most people know it as "I Hate You So Much Right Now."
That's the name of that song. I don't care what she called it. It's called "I Hate You So Much Right Now." That's the name of that song.
But it's so interesting because the conversation with all 3 different conversations were about how ahead of her time she was, and how she was just doing things that like female artists now or later on.
What are we talking about? Me and you were talking about this, which is why I subliminally picked the Kelis. Me and you were talking about this in your car.
So that was one of the 3 different ones.
Yes.
And the other ones didn't even have to do with that one.
It didn't, but that's how we got to it.
Wow.
Crazy. That's why I was like, I wonder why he picked this.
Because you picked it subliminally.
So here are her lyrics for this actually groundbreaking song at the time. Yo, 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 this song, yo.
Groundbreaking.
Skip.
How groundbreaking is that? But you know, sometimes
yo. I think that's how that went, right?
Yeah, but sometimes, you know, the verbal expression is so different than the melody. But anyways, this song is for all the women out there that been lied to by their men. And I know you all been lied to over and over again.
Come on.
This is for y'all. Yo, maybe you didn't break the way you should have broke. Yo, but I break. Now what I'm saying, so this is how it goes. Yo, psst, damn. Yo. I hate you for this. I hate you so much. Last year, Valentine's Day, you would spoil me and say, babe, I love you. Yeah, he's lying. I swear. Hold you when you were sick, even sucked your dick. The whole time I think to myself, this isn't fair. What is this?
I see.
You don't come home to me. When you don't come home to me, can't deal, can't bear. You keep telling me lies, but to your surprise, look, I found her coat. And your bitch caught out there. Oh. I hate you so much right now. I hate you so much right now. I hate you so much right now.
And then she went, with pink and green hair. I love her forever.
This bitch was mad, and it was groundbreaking. But you know what? Honestly, it's like
I didn't know any of those lyrics. By the way.
And
love
neither
that
did
song.
I. And now that you read it, it's like it's not even about the lyrics. It's about her delivery. It was about the statement.
It wasn't about the fact that she was sucking dick. She was sucking it for free. And now she hate him for it. That's what it's about.
Was it?
I mean, she said
I
a lot.
don't know what
It's the sake.
I mean, you go blame it on the sake, and I really am sweating over here, like
Drunk
straight
on the
up,
night.
like just rosy all over, just hot. That song really was groundbreaking though, and the video. Let's not forget, she was in the tub,
video
walking
was
around, tearing up his whole apartment. It was amazing.
She
love it.
slayed that apartment.
It was amazing.
That apartment.
And just so you guys know, if you're tuning in for the first time, Love That Lyric is a segment where we break down lyrics to a song and we just read them out loud and like poetry and like kind of just talk about what the lyrics mean, and in this case, the crisis of that man cheating on her.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's time we get a little by Miss Crissy J. This is the first
debut.
Debut.
A debut
Ambiance
segment.
by Crissy J.
Tell us what it is.
So,
Jay.
you know, here is it, guys. Ambiance by is basically, I like feelings. Things that give you the feelings. When you walk into a room and set an ambiance like we all do, I like the feeling of that. The first time you felt anything. So with this, I wanted to cater it to, like I was saying earlier, the crisis. When was the first feeling you got when you had a crisis? The ambiance that you felt when you were in that crisis. Like,
so you
how
start.
did
What was
you
yours?
feel? Well, I would say my first ever crisis I would say I was in was Christmas morning. Again, my mom, I'm so sorry, Mother, I love you.
Moms are usually the reason for crisis.
Well,
And they understand that they produce crazy kids, so they get it.
I hope she gets it.
They understand. They
She
understand.
doesn't know, she knows now. So it was a crisis for me because Christmas is a magical day. I'm not a morning person to begin with, okay? So when you wake me up on some crazy shit, it becomes a crisis to me, you know? And she was in a crisis as well because my family is very, very prim proper Jamaicans, you know what I mean? So she wants everything right. And so she was in a crisis because my grandfather was coming over Christmas morning. And I said, okay, cool, I'm cleaning. And something, I don't know what happened, but we got into a crisis. And that was the first crisis I've ever gotten in with my mother. Like, fist crisis, you know? And I was like, I'm sorry, Mom. And I ran out. I ran away. It was my first time I ran away. And that was the crisis in itself. So that feeling of, oh my gosh, I'm on my own. I'm in my PJs. I'm going to the cat lady's house down the street who feeds my cats.
Trying to see if she could feed me.
If she could, she gave me some tea and some crumpets, and it was great. And
Crumpets?
I was cool. She's great.
I love that.
And that was the first crisis I've
So
ever
what was the
felt.
ambience you felt when you were on that street alone? Were you like Avril Lavigne in the song with you? What was going on?
Ooh.
I love that song.
I love that song.
Yeah, I was lost. I didn't know what to do because
You were
I
standing
don't
on the
run
bridge,
away. I was-
waiting in the dark.
Sure. In the middle, I was standing at the cat lady's house, like, who should I call? Who should I turn to? I'm
How
in
old
a
were you?
crisis. I was a senior in high school.
Okay.
Oh, so you really thought
17,
you were grown.
18.
You really thought you were grown. Like, you were like, I'm out, and I'm literally out, and then you stepped out and was like, wait.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
kidding.
like 8 in the morning. Like, you know.
Wait, hold on. I didn't graduate yet, Mom. Okay, hold on. Let's not jump to conclusions.
Yeah, I mean, the crisis was I didn't want anybody to find me. I didn't want to be found. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Nobody deserved to know where I was. So, but they did. My dad found me in the crisis. And that was the beauty of it because me and my dad weren't on, I guess, good terms. And when he found me, I just felt, I was like, oh, okay, you really get me sometimes.
Yeah.
You know? And that was the beauty that I found in that crisis because
yeah.
me and my dad got closer for that split second, you know? And then it just went back to nowhere. But it's fine. That was my first crisis in my life. So I'd like to hear about you guys' crisis and how you felt when your first crisis.
Leo, crises?
Oh,
Well, I just talk. I mean, I think
That was
You
a
had
crisis.
you had a crisis.
That was a crisis.
You literally just was in a big crisis.
That was a huge
I don't want to have another shot.
Guy, please elaborate on your crises.
The ambiance.
The ambience.
The ambiance of your crisis.
Okay, so I can't reveal what my crisis is.
I think I know.
because-
I think we all know.
I
Even the
think I
people who
know.
don't know, they know.
No, I've always been thinking about what you think I'm thinking of.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
biatch. No. Sorry.
What's your crisis, baby?
So it was actually something that I did that was illegal when I was like 17 years old. And let's just say I did it and you know, it was just illegal. And the
Can we kind of know what the legal? I mean, it
No.
makes it
Yeah,
better.
I
no,
wanna
you can't.
know.
No.
Okay.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
That's
all
a
right.
hint.
All I will tell you is that it has to do with a bank, because
Now you would want to say it. We got Bernie Madoff
I'm
sitting
not
over
gonna say
here.
what it is. This was
Let
like
you know it had to do
there
with a
was-
Uzi and a flamethrower and a bank.
That's all I'll
Masks.
say. And so when it happened, it was just something that I could have been in a tremendous amount of trouble for, because I was hanging with like the wrong people who were doing some shit, and then they were just like, oh, all you have to do is blah blah blah. And you know, I just was like really young and naive and was like, whoa, and I did it, and then like they actually got caught. And I was like, so I literally was like, I'm gonna be like in my parents' house when the FBI SWAT team like is gonna like
In the mic.
Yeah, I was trying not to say that in the mic. Anyway, that was a real crisis
Call
for
out.
me, but
Wow.
thank God it all worked out.
What was the
because
beauty in that crisis? What did you feel when you saw
That he didn't get caught.
The beauty.
That was the beauty.
The relief. That's the ambiance
The
he
whole
felt.
non-shackle thing.
The relief.
This, thank God, and I like this was like so long ago. This was literally 20 something years ago.
Yeah.
But I remember I was a child, and it was one of those things where like you didn't realize what your actions actually produced or could have produced. And so honestly, the beauty in the crisis, that's a very interesting question in that time, because I think that I prayed so hard to God, like, oh my God, like, I'm sorry. Like, I really was feeling so, because the repercussion was literally
Grave.
so grave.
Yeah.
And I remember, and I actually, this was the beauty in the crisis. I was like, I will never do anything that makes me feel that way about, like illegal stuff or money stuff or any of that stuff. And it actually, I am happy to say that I've never done anything that has anything. But so that was the
I
beauty
can
of it.
vouch for Guy
Because-
now. He only goes to the banks to make deposits.
Amen.
No,
That's-
but that is actually that was a very beautiful lesson, because
Yeah.
it was something that I had to learn for myself, like the value of money, or the responsibility, the precautions of what your actions that you don't even like think through all the way could actually cause. So the beauty was, no, I didn't actually get caught, and I learned a life lesson that for the rest of my life I will carry on to my children.
Love that. Love that. Children.
Ooh.
Wait, hold on. Okay. We love that. We love that. I just want to know
But
when these
that
kids
was-
are coming. So I just love it. I love all
Be
of
the
that.
That was
godmother.
beautiful. I just realized there
Yeah.
is beauty in every crisis, because my first thought was like, oh, there's no beauty in that crisis. It was just like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. What the hell? But there was.
There
a
really
beauty
was,
in the
yeah.
crisis. That lesson is a forever lesson.
Absolutely.
And
I feel you.
yours?
For me, I feel like my crisis in my life that has stunted my growth, and I'm still an 8-year-old kid from it, is my mother leaving me. Is my mother leaving my family when I was 10.
Oh, I got chills.
Literally, it was a crisis. And I didn't really treat it as such, because I'm just, I like to bury myself in the wallow and the pain and create from it. But it has stayed with me my entire life. And it's a continuing crisis, kind of a little bit, that I kind of pushed down a little bit. But I think the beauty in it is that it has made me so much more of an understanding person with people's problems. Not only my own, but just in all my relationships. I feel like I will make an excuse for all of the people I really care for when they hurt me, just because I understand that pain is something that you can't really manage that well. Or if you're in a situation where you act a certain way because of those circumstances, sometimes it's not out of your control. And so that, for me, in dealing with a lot of big personalities and a lot of business and big people, is how to be a little bit more forgiving and a little bit more, let me see through what I'm really seeing, not just how I'm seeing you curse me out right now. Let me see where that pain is coming from.
How was
'cause
that ambiance that day?
literally, let me set you the ambiance. Oh, you're giving me chills right now.
I'm
'cause
sorry, but I had to.
It's crazy. Oh, I'm feeling it right now. I walked out of my house, 805 South Cumberland Street. I was 10 years old. I made the little sidewalk left. I walked down, and my dad had this big F-150 red pickup truck, Ford, and it was sitting there, and it had a black bed in it. And my mom was standing there, and she had all of her clothes that I had ever seen her wear packed in the back of the truck, and it was packed up higher than the bed of the truck. I remember seeing that on my way to school. It was like 7 a.m, and she was leaving.
She's about to hit it.
She was, honey, when I tell you she was out, she was out. And
She didn't say anything.
And I felt it. I felt it in the moment of like, something's going on. But she was like, no, go to school. And I just remember walking away and like, something's different, but the ambiance was like, it was like, if I could give it a color, it was gray. It was a gray color. It didn't have anything really. It wasn't white, it wasn't black. It was just in the middle of like, it's a new beginning, and it's not necessarily good. You know, she had all her clothes. She had bomb-ass clothes too, okay? I don't get these furs from nowhere, okay? She had
And
bomb-ass
by the way,
clothes.
he comes from a family that puts like genius in their tea or something in their water.
my
Like,
dad's
he
sperm.
really is. Him and
Hi,
his
Dad.
family just
What up,
have
Pops?
Miss
brilliance.
you.
in
It's
their
my
fa-
family's upbringing. It's just they subscribe to
Yeah,
different,
like
you know,
NBA players, like musicians,
NASA
and,
scientists,
like
all
artists,
kind of stuff.
Drawer. Today we're at the studio and we were drawing, and I'm like, oh my god, when you came and you drew, I'm like, you have that natural ability.
Thank you. And with that, again, comes from all the
Great
pain.
ambiance, huh?
That was an ambiance. I
Wow.
remember walking down that street going, and she was like, go to school. And I was like, the ambiance of like, wait, something is about to happen. I'm feeling like, oh, wait, why are your clothes in the truck? And I'm only 10, but I know that something's going on. And then
Wow.
came home from school, and she had parked the truck at a Pizza Hut, and they didn't find her for 2 weeks. She popped up in New Jersey, new husband, new everything, and that's been 12 years since.
Wow.
So it's like that ambiance is still with me. I still pull from that place of like uncertainty or what's going on, but it's also made me understand people. She had to do what she thought she had to do for herself to be okay.
Absolutely.
And that's okay with me, even though it's crazy. You know?
And the beauty in that crisis was what to you?
That I just learned how to, you know, when you're given a lot, I had a lot of ego, and I grew up with a lot of ego past that. But that one experience, the beauty has been continually that, you know, you have to see people for who they really are, and sometimes their pain speaks for them, but that's not really what they mean to say. So
Wow.
that's what I learned. I learned how to deal with people and deal with problems a little bit, you know? Yeah. So Ambiance by Crissy J.
Wow.
We like that
Good
segment, Crissy
I
J.
love it.
That
Yes.
was cute,
Thank you.
cute.
Yeah.
Well, can we keep this going, guys?
Let's
Because
do it.
I want to talk to the people.
Yay!
Tips.
Yes, it's time for a little bit of just a little advice for you guys. We're going to close this out. It's been a really amazing episode, just
Yeah,
let me say that,
okay.
guys. But what's going on, songwriters? What's going on, creators? This is, if you guys have just been tuning in and getting to know what a songwriter's right is, again, it's a show where we talk all about creativity and the ins and outs of it. And at the end of every show, I kind of like to give tips to young people or older people who are just starting writing songs, just starting to sing, just starting to emote in public and not just in your bathroom or your bed or your shower or whatever. And today's topic, I just want to talk about, we're talking about the beauty, is there beauty in the crisis? And sometimes as a songwriter, when you're creating, you're like, I don't know if this is good. I don't know if this has been written already. I don't know if I'm plagiarizing. I don't know if this concept is fresh enough. I don't know if this melody is really hooky enough. And so the concept today is to ditch or to fix. In the sense of, when do you know to get rid of something and start all over, scrap it, that shit is horrible. Or, I could just tweak this a little bit and then it all just kind of falls into place. Because that's literally how alchemy with songwriting is. You change one word and it changes the whole meaning of that sentence. You change one stanza, you flip this, put this first line where the fourth line was, the fourth where the first was, and your whole song makes sense. So this is what I would say sometimes. Look for the goosebumps. Goosebumps never lie to you. Me and some of my best friends, Brian Judah and Firstborn, we always talk about, what up, boys? We always talk about following the goosebumps. We call it our factory feel good, because we always follow the goosebumps. Like, I'm getting them now, just talking
Yeah,
about
me
them,
too.
because I have a good relationship with them, and you do too. If you know how to listen, if you know how to feel, if that line you keep singing over and over and over, and you can't get it out of your head, that means somebody else won't get it out of their head too. Build on it. Don't ditch it. Fix it. If you see a melody that you're like, oh, I think I had this melody already and it's somebody else's. Well, the law says that you can copy them up to 7 notes. So if seven notes of yours are the same, use 3 other notes out of that scale so that it becomes your own. Change the arrangement of those notes around. So therefore, when you sing it, it sounds like it's yours. And I'm sure somebody still has recorded that at some point, but it's still a little bit more authentically yours, rather than something that you think you've heard. So that's all I'd say, guys. Follow those goosebumps. Those goosebumps never lie. Don't ditch. You don't always have to throw it out. But sometimes, let me tell you, I had a session. This is the other side of that. I had a session the other day. I will not say the producer's name. It wasn't even a producer. I was in the room with like a producer and 3 interns, and everybody had something to say about where they thought the song should go. And I'm sitting there trying to be nice guy and not curse all of them out. And I was just like, I don't really write like this. And the song got pulled in so many different directions. The first 3 lines was talking about this. The pre-chorus went somewhere else. The hook, one of the interns thought we should use bulbs for some reason. Why are interns
writing a song?
I don't know. But, you get in the sessions where you just gotta go with it. People want their interns to be in it, which is cool. Fine.
I mean, that's the point of them being interns.
Absolutely, to learn. But it can also
affect
in the wrong way. So at the end of the day,
interns are learning songwriting, like they're sitting in songwriting.
I mean,
sessions?
at the end of the day, these songs came about, and I listened to the song back, and I was like, I do not know what the fuck this song is talking about, and I'm so lost, and I don't even have the energy to fix it. So guess what I did? I didn't go back to the next session. I can't go back to the next session because when you're a professional, you have to just keep putting yourself in spaces where you link with people of your same caliber, and they elevate you, not the other way around, So that's all I would say for
Songsmith Tips.
Hey.
Love it.
Love it.
I want to say something really quick about the beauty in the crisis.
Okay.
I think everyone has their own beauty that they can turn to within any given crisis.
Absolutely.
Right? For me, and if I'm going to play off of what you said only earlier, when you were in your situation crisis, you turned to prayer because you looked at a higher level, and anybody does that. When they're really in a crisis, you turn to a higher level of understanding in order to get the beauty that you need to go through that crisis. Find that beauty within yourself of higher understanding, and you will get through your crisis. And that's all I want to say. God is mine. I don't know what yours is, but God is mine, and man, prayer gets me through my crisis.
Okay.
Amen. So
I love that. I love that. So guys, I think this has been great.
Let's close it with a prayer.
Ooh.
And the last song is called Come. I don't know how that's going to work, but let's do it.
Okay. It's a good song. I know that song.
It's a good.
Oh,
here we go.
Go ahead.
Oh, Heavenly Father, universe.
Amen.
Allah, whoever you pray to, we just thank you for our health and being able to be alive and in this crisis, and thank you for letting us find beauty in every crisis, because you are the one that has granted us with that. And I'm thankful for everyone here, and I'm thankful for season 4 that we're about to have a great time on this radio show with you viewers, and in Jesus' name we pray.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
And
Amen.
I just did want to add to everybody who to the people of Puerto Rico and to the people of the Caribbean and Houston and Mexico and Vegas and our interest and intention is to put light onto whatever is happening
as
in
much
the world,
light as we can.
and
All
that's what we're here to do. So our intention is to uplift, to connect with other like-minded people. This is why you're welcome to come to call in, to be involved.
Yes.
And man, just so happy to be here and have this platform with my beautiful friends and the beautiful audience to go on to the next season.
Love. So you guys, that's it for this episode 1.
Amazing.
Thank you guys so much.
We love you.
Love you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you back here every Wednesday all the way to November
with some amazing
Just
guests.
love lyrics and life. It's a songwriter's right.
Can we dance? Can we dance?
Absolutely.
Don't you wanna come and feel my love again? Say you wanna come and feel my love again. Don't you wanna come and feel my love again?
feel